It is Tuesday morning. I wanted to start another weekly reading vlog. Do it from Tuesday to Friday. I have been in a bit of a reading slump and I kind of want to use this vlog as an opportunity to try to get out of that. I usually read 3 books a week. I'm kind of cutting down to 1 book a week. This week I want to try to finish Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which I'm reading physically, and also Credence that I'm reading on my Kindle. I'm about halfway done on both of them. Hopefully we can finish those books and also start some more books. I have no plans this week besides working and reading, so I really want to step up my reading game and get out of this slump. So it is Tuesday morning right now and I'm just gonna start working, and then afterwards I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. Okay, it is after work now and I think I'm going to journal a bit and also edit my weekend vlog that I made, and then after that I will just go ahead and start reading. Good morning vlog. It is Wednesday. I just wanted to give you a quick review on the books I'm currently reading. On my Kindle, I'm reading Credence, and on page 343, so that's about 71% in. So far, it's very interesting. I can see why a lot of people really hate this book, and I can see why people like it. I think at one point, it's kind of like a young girl looking for love in all the wrong places. And another point, it's just a very smutty book with a lot of, smut. So you could also look at it that way. We'll see how I feel at the very end of the book to give my final rating for it. I am also reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I am almost done with it. I am on page 408. There's about 500 pages left, so I have about 100 pages left in the book. And at the beginning, I kind of wasn't loving it that much because I kind of thought it was very similar to Hunger Games. I just kind of was like, I would rather just, I don't know, read the Hunger Games books. But as I continued it, kind of paid attention to the characters and the banter between them and the chemistry between the characters. I love the love triangle. I love Peyton and Kit and Kai. I think it's really, really great to like learn them, and not really the story, because I do think the story is a little predictable, but it can also come with a very cozy read. So once I kind of had that mindset, I was just like, oh, this book's actually really good. So I'm kind of loving it now. Yeah, so I will wait at the very end to give you my final rating for the book as well. It is about 6:30 a.m. I had a workout. I'm just gonna journal this morning, and then I'll get ready and be ready for work later today. I can't stand the king. No. Hello vlog. I just finished Powerless, and oh my god, it was so good. Like, the ending just is one of the best endings in fantasy that I've read in so long, and I cannot wait for the next book to come out. Like, I'm just so happy I read it. Oh, what am I rating this? I think I'm gonna rate it a 4.75. Hear me out, it's not fully a 5 just because the beginning did not hit as hard for me as I think a lot of other fantasy books have. So I'm gonna give this a 4.75, very close to a 5. I absolutely recommend it. Yes, this is a good book. Also finished Credence on my Kindle. I'm giving that one a 2.75 star. So I think by the end I was just kind of like, okay, let's wrap this up. It was like 475 pages long. I thought it was just too long, and I couldn't take it seriously. Like, I just couldn't. And so yeah, it's giving a 2.75 star. It was good enough to finish, but not good enough to get that higher of a rating for me. But if you love it, that's amazing. So now I want to pick a new book. a new physical book and probably another book on my Kindle. But yeah, so good. Okay, I think I decided to read Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book of the Last Hour series, which is a duology. I've been wanting to read Cassandra Clare for some time now, and I kind of think a duology is probably the perfect start to reading her books. I don't know for sure. I haven't heard what order you should be reading her books, but I'm going to start with this one. And it's about a girl named Cordelia Carstairs, who's a shadow hunter, which is basically a warrior who's trained to battle demons. And that is really as far as I know about this book, which I really like. And I'm still in my fantasy kick. And yeah, I will probably start this today. On top of the Chain of Gold book, I also want to start a new book on my Kindle, or my Kindle app. I'm on my iPad right now. I have these books that I know I want to read, but I think what I'm going to decide is Kristen Hanna's Winter Garden. I just finished The Nightingale not too long ago, and it was one of the most impactful books that I've ever read. I don't think I've ever loved historical fiction that much until I read that book, and now I just want to read all of her books now. So I think I'm going to start with Kristen Hanna. So the thing with Kindle Unlimited is they have this option where you can also, I guess, listen to it. And I've never done it before. So I'm excited to see what that's like. Like this. And it looks like at the bottom it's downloading there. And you can listen to it while reading at the same time. So that is really interesting. And so it like highlights as it is talking. That is really interesting. Or at least that was what Dad said. Mom didn't say much of anything about herself. A knock at the door surprised Meredith. She looked up just as Jeff Cooper and her father. Okay, I know I told you that I was going to read Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, but I decided to stop because I want to read in the order that Cassandra recommends, and I realized that the first book I actually need to read is the first 3 books of the Mortal Instruments series. I actually did a binge buy and I just bought that and it'll be here on Friday. So I'm going to pause on reading that for now and switch to reading The Black Witch. Happy Thursday vlog! I just got off work and I just wanted to update you on what I read last night. I got so much reading done. I feel like I am completely out of my slump, which is the best feeling because I was really not in a good way last week. So I am happy to say that I am page 106 of The Black Witch and I am on page 125 of The Winter Garden, which is what I'm reading on my Kindle. What I do know is it's about this girl who has no magic, or at least that's what her uncle has always told her. He is refusing to arrange marriage her. What they call it in the book is like, it's called wand fasting. So wand fasting is basically an arranged marriage, but done in a magic way. You're like magically bonded to a man. The world is not equal when it comes to men and women. Right now, she is living with her aunt, and her aunt is showing her the ways into society. She's 18 years old, and she's heading to university in a few months. She is meeting new people, new friends, new enemies. So far, I'm just loving it. Her book I'm reading on my Kindle is The Winter Garden, which is by Kristen Hanna, and I just love Kristen Hanna's books. I immediately put all of her books from 2010 and up in my TBR. I can't wait to read it. I am going to purchase so many of her books because I just love her writing. I never liked historical fiction until I read her books, and I'm just in love. Winter Garden is about two sisters who are dealing with their mom. Mom and them have never had a very good relationship. Mom was very distant towards them. There was really no love there. At least I couldn't sense any love there. One thing they had in common was their father, and their father was just the most loving person. He loved his wife and he loved his daughters, but he ends up passing away at the very beginning of the book. And their mom is just kind of going through, is kind of losing her mind a little bit. She's like calling them different names. She'll call like her daughter her name. I feel like I could tell that there's kind of some type of war trauma that she is dealing with and that her kids have no idea about. Definitely ready to see where that book goes. I'm 30% into it, so I honestly could finish this book today. Like, who knows what's gonna happen today, but I'm just gonna probably read for the rest of the day. I have no other plans. Yeah, here we go.
Miss Crying, Mom said, her eyes glassy enough focus. She's hungry. There's no hungry lion here, Mom. Meredith said in an even soothing voice. Do you want some soup? She asked quietly.
It's so cool. Oh, it's so soft. Hello vlog, it is Friday and it is time to wrap up this week's vlog video. I finished Powerless. I gave this 4.5 stars. It was a great fantasy book. I didn't give it a full 5 stars because I did think the book was a little predictable, and I thought at the beginning that it was too similar to Hunger Games, but after I kind of went past that and I kept reading along, the middle and end was so good. The ending was amazing. I can't wait to read the next book that comes out. I did see here like mixed reviews on Book Talk and BookTube, and I am happy to say that I am on the ones who really enjoyed reading this book. The other physical book I started this week was The Black Witch. I got to page 144 and I'm so far loving it. I'm having an amazing time. I still don't know too much about it. I'm kind of still going in blind. It's a longer book. Let's see how many pages it is. It's 637 pages, so I have some time to really learn the world and learn the characters and the story itself. Hopefully it sticks that way. I will let you know what I think in a later date. I finished Credence, which I gave a 2.75, and I already told you why I gave it that amount. It just wasn't for me. Like, I know a lot of people love it and that's amazing for them. I couldn't get past the face value of of the story. I mean, I'm sure there's an in-depth meaning to the whole thing and looking for love in all the wrong places, and she's just a young woman and like she was never loved in a healthy, safe way. So this is kind of a thing that can happen, I guess. I mean, you could see the in-depth. I can see the in-depth version of it. I just couldn't look past the fact that it was her uncle and her cousins. Like, I just couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry though. Okay. Also started and finished The Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, and oh my god, I loved it so much. This is one of those books that I feel like I will always think back on. The story was so beautiful. The characters, Kristen Hanna just does such an amazing job of getting you to love her characters that she writes. I feel like I learned so much of history in a way that wasn't boring and kept it interesting and told a story of a situation that probably wouldn't have been told in her history books. I feel like the story was so important and so beautifully written. It was not hard to follow at all. And it was only 300 pages, so it really wasn't a long read. I'm just so thankful that I read it, and this is like one of the reasons why this book is one of the reasons that reminds me how much I love reading. Like, this is the book that's like, oh, I really do love reading, where there were some books in the earlier weeks that I'm like, do I even like to read? So I'm just so thankful that I got to read that, and I am going to be reading so many more of Kristen Hanna's books. I can't wait to start those too. Yes, that is all my reading things that I've done this week. I hope you all enjoyed my vlog. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already for more vlogs from me. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!